excited for the main event here at the Expo Mart, Monroeville, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. Standing room only for Friday night fights. Everybody came out tonight, including heavyweight Eddie Chambers. He just came back from Germany after losing to Alexander Povetkin last week, but he's a good-looking contending heavyweight. And how about Michael Therrien, the coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, sitting ringside here for Friday night fights. Pittsburgh loves its hometown heroes. Of course, for many local boxing fans, that meant Billy Conn or Fritzy Zivich and, of course, Charlie Burley. But there are plenty of other hard-working, lesser-accomplished pros in this area who have won over the fans. And tonight we have one of them, Monty Meza-Clay. Biggest opportunity of his career. He faces recent world titleist Aiken. Aiken is one of the most improbable title holders in boxing history. He was a paralegal back in Maryland who gave boxing a shot and one day unexpectedly won a belt. That one day was May 13, 2006. He was facing 24-0 Valdemar Pereira in one of the wackiest foul-filled fights in some time. Aiken pulled off the upset, and he did so because of numerous low blows and a DQ for the IBF belt. His first title defense was a disaster. 4 months later, he gave a lackluster effort against Robert Guerrero and was TKO'd in a fight he never really was in. Most recently, he traveled to South Africa and went toe-to-toe with Thomas Mashaba. Mashaba came back late and in a grueling fight laid Eric out in the 9th. Now the man they call Mighty Mouse is looking to get up, and away from his recent past.
That I haven't lost it. I've read on the internet and things to that nature that I might have lost it, and yeah, I haven't at all. I took a lot of stuff for granted. I wasn't training properly in some fights, you know, but I had to put everything back in perspective, and I got to go out there and prove to the world that I am and going to be, again, another world champion.
He goes up against the undersized Monty Meza-Clay, who ran his record to 20-0 before he faced his first big challenge. It was on Friday Night Fights in Tampa, Florida, when he met up with the always active and entertaining Edner Cherry. He was rocked several times. Monty gave a game effort, but in the 11th round, the ref had seen enough. Now he says he's an improved fighter in many ways.
Well, I'm a lot smarter fighter. I mean, I walked away from that loss with from Cherry with a lot of education. I'm a lot smarter fighter. I mean, I got a lot of head movement. I got a lot stronger. I'm in a weight class. I'm down to pick on somebody on my own size now.
Well, they're hoping he has improved for this challenge against Aiken. The locals are ready. And there is the challenge. Aiken, 27 years old. He's from Washington, D.C. An odd 16-6-1 record for a guy who had a major organizations belt. 5'8", so he has about a 5-inch height advantage in this matchup. And since winning that title, Aiken has struggled a bit. He is 0-2-1 during that recent stretch since claiming the IBF 126-pound belt. And there is Monty Meza-Clay from just outside of Pittsburgh in Rankin, Pennsylvania. He's listed at 5'4", but that's one of those media guy type height measurements. He's a short 130-pounder. 26-1 record since the lone loss to Edner Cherry. He's featured on local fight series, 6-0 with 4 knockouts in that span. The fight plan is sponsored by AutoZone, with opposing trainers Tom Yankello and Adrian Davis offering up their inside words.
In order for Meza-Clay to defeat Aiken tonight, he's got to get on the inside early, go to the body, let that take its toll. In the later rounds, he'll come back upstairs to the head, and Eric's going to be on the outside with his long jab and his long right hand, trying to keep Monty on the outside. I think it's sort of like a Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns fight. I mean, Monty's going to be trying to get on the inside, and Eric's going to be trying to land that long, strong right hand from the outside, and it has a fight that's made for fireworks early.
What Aikens have to do to beat Meza-Clay tonight is what all tall men have to do to small men. Box him, stay out of his way, back from side to side, and meet him with punches when he comes.
Scheduled for 10 rounds.
I want you to obey my command.
Ernie Sheriff, the ref.
I want you to protect yourself at all times. But any questions? Any questions? Touch him up.
The ring experience is brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Meza-Clay has had more fights. Eric Aiken, though, knows what it means to be on top, and he wants to get back there. Round 1 scheduled for 10. Meza-Clay in the Steelers colors of black, gold, and white. Eric Aiken in the blue and white stripes. Joe Tessitore, Roy Jones Jr. with you ringside. Roy, they said the potential for fireworks early. Is that also your expectation?
Most definitely. Meza-Clay has got to go out and establish himself right away. Get inside, prove that he won't be denied. And Eric Aiken is a good sharp puncher, so he's going to try to test Meza-Clay's chin early. But Meza-Clay has proven to have a rock-solid chin.
Keeping that shorter man out at the end of that long jab is Eric Aiken early on here. Meza-Clay double jab of his own. And now hooks with that left hand. People dismiss the fact many times that the smaller man can be effective with the jab. But it's been proven time and time again that that is the case. Most definitely. A lot of small men have good jabs. They just don't use them that much. And just because you don't supposed to be outside if you're a smaller man doesn't mean you can't work on winning from out there if you happen to be caught out there. Double jab again from Meza-Clay. Aiken now tries to go with a short right hand on the inside before getting out to the center of the ring. Trying to keep that fight at range. Shoots the right uppercut. Meza-Clay tries with the left hook downstairs and then up top. Back to the jab and a right hand on the inside, and that is a slip. As Meza-Clay was pushed backwards by the left hand of Aiken. And usually that's a guy like Aiken trying to establish his power to show the small guy that I'm just as strong as you are. I even can push you down if I want to. Hard to believe just to look at the physical structure of both guys that it's Aiken who came in at 126 3/4 and Meza-Clay who came in at 129. I mean, Aiken just has that bigger frame. Obviously, Meza-Clay short and stocky, but short, stocky, and compact. And that's the fight you have to fight right there. You got to be built on the inside like that. You have to be built on the inside, most definitely. And he loves it in there, so this is beautiful for him. Right in the kitchen is Meza-Clay. Pushes him back with that left shoulder and then sends a right hand to the body. So a pretty good active start for the Pittsburgh area-based Monty Meza-Clay here in his hometown. Monty Meza-Clay says that he's a smarter. Other experience on Friday Night Fights, that loss to Edner Cherry, and has developed a lot more since then. What his trainer Tom Yankello, Roy Jones Jr. would like to see him develop more of is that double jab to get in that front door. Exactly, and the reason he wants to do that is because that'll discourage the right hand that Aiken is throwing. He knows Aiken's trying to land a good right like that. He knows Aiken's trying to land a beautiful right hand, but he's making keep his hands home for defense, and he can't land that right hand as well. Meza-Clay able to close that distance against the taller Eric Aiken, the recent world titleist, and he splits the guard with a sharp left uppercut and then came around it with a left hook. And he's fighting a small fight because he's forcing Aiken to fight on the inside. This is not where Aiken's best punches are thrown. And what I don't like about Meza-Clay is see how he's squaring up right here. This is our only opportunity to give away a big shot. I wish he would not square up like that. That means bringing both of his feet side by side. He shouldn't do that because he feels a bigger target. Good shot. Aiken now trading punches, showing a little more spurt here. This Expo Mart can get very, very loud. This two-tiered balcony setting filled with Meza-Clay fans. Spirited effort now on the inside. 7 unanswered punches from Meza-Clay, and now Aiken comes back with a series of his own. And you saw how he slipped those punches in when he had his left foot in front of his right, he slipped them better, but once he squares up, it makes him a little bit harder for him to slip the punches. Good body work. Left hand to the body again, tries to come up top with the right hand.
One thing I can assure you, though, he trained in the same place that I trained for the last fight, so if he did any kind of road work up there at Buster's place, I can guarantee you Monty Meza-Clay is in one good form of condition tonight.
That is in nearby California, Pennsylvania. Now, why did you choose to come up to California, Pennsylvania and train at the same location that Meza-Clay trains for your fight with Tito Trinidad?
Because there's nothing to do there but train, get in shape. If you can just walk those hills, you're going to be guaranteed to be in shape.
Series of right hands now for Aiken as more head movement from Meza-Clay. That's something he's been trying to improve on. Double left hook and then a straight right hand from the shorter local favorite. Oh, that right hand was flush.
Good shot.
Flush right hand from Meza-Clay. Aiken stood up to it well, but gets backed up by another right hand. Digging in. Look at this attack. Crowd rises to their feet here in Metro Pittsburgh for their local favorite. As the chants of Monty reign in, as do punches to the head of Eric Aiken, and we close out this second round on Friday Night Fights.
The hook getting a straight right lead down the middle. Then he comes back and puts together another great series, 1, 2, 3, 4, and lands the last right hand straight down the middle. So he's using 3 and 4 punches to set up the 5th or the 6th punch. Beautiful work by Monty Meza-Clay. Up and down, body head, I'm loving it. He's always working, always in great condition.
Roy Jones Jr. and Joe Tessitore with you ringside at the Expo Mart, Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Round 3 scheduled for 10. Monty Meza-Clay in the black and white with gold trim. In that second round, he outlanded Aiken 47-21 through 115 punches. Now Aiken a little more willing to exchange as Meza-Clay steps into that danger zone. Aiken made the comment to us yesterday that he feels he'll just be too strong for Meza-Clay. Does that appear to be the case to you? You think Aiken is the stronger fighter between these two and just looking at him in the first 2 rounds?
No, I think he's a stronger puncher on the outside, but I don't think he's necessarily the stronger fighter. Most guys feel like that when they see a shorter guy, and they know this is a smaller weight class, so they feel like they can overpower the guy because he's smaller, but that's not the case so far here.
Aiken is coming off a fight that was a back-and-forth brawl down in South Africa. There's a right hand that comes in flush again from Monty Meza-Clay. And a good, strong little up jab. Looks like some blood from the mouth of Eric Aiken as Meza-Clay just continues to work on the inside, Roy.
He don't stop. He's non-stop action. He's left and right with his head. The most beautiful thing about it. And once he starts punching, he doesn't stop.
He's kind of got that Frazier-esque motion.
Except he has the right hand with it. He's not just one-dimensional. He has a hook and a right hand.
He said look for the improvement with the head movement. So far, we've seen it.
Most definitely.
Punch track numbers impressive in favor of Meza-Clay.
And you see he throws 5 or 6 light punches to set up one big punch. That's beautiful work. Keeps the other guy's hands at home. Keeps the other guy from opening you because he has to defend against that big punch. But don't think Eric Aiken didn't come here to fight. He's in a fight. It's not the type of fight that he wants, but he's doing his best. He's giving his all, and he's definitely trying.
Left hook, right hand combination again, and he fires off 6 of them.
Always a very conditioned athlete. That's the one thing I like about Monty Meza-Clay. He's always in top condition when you see him.
Aiken, Meza-Clay, more to come. End of 3. Guess who's back on Friday Night Fights next week? The Ding-a-ling Man, Darnell Wilson. Remember the knockout of the year? He did this last year on our air. Can he do that against the undefeated BJ Flores? Good main event next week. Plus, Ring Magazine's #1 cruiserweight, Steve Cunningham, the special guest analyst. That's all next week on Friday Night Fights, presented by Just for Men Hair Color. Our 10th anniversary continues, and this has been a very strong show here in Metro Pittsburgh. Our main event, round 4, scheduled for 10 between Eric Aiken and Monty Meza-Clay. Roy Jones Jr., if you're in the corner of Eric Aiken right now, what are you telling him?
To try to get this fight on the outside. He's landing big punches, but he's getting caught with too many big punches himself. You try to keep it on the outside with his jab, but he can't seem to keep Meza-Clay off of him.
How do you do that? How do you keep this little guy off of you who keeps burrowing into the inside, getting in with that hook?
You have to establish a jab. He's not establishing his jab here. He's trying to trade big punches with him, and this is giving Meza-Clay exactly what Meza-Clay wants and needs to win the fight. You got to establish a jab against the little guy to keep him off balance and to keep him outside.
Bloodied mouth of Eric Aiken. Eric Aiken now with his back up against the ropes. Now he's at distance. Let's see if he gets to the jab.
Yeah, he's throwing 1 or 2, but see, they're not real jabs. He's just laying it out there. And Meza-Clay just walked right through that because he's not putting any effort on the jab. He's just laying it out. You can't do that. You got to put an effort on the jab. You got to pop a stinger jab so the guy respects your jab.
And with nothing to be bothered with, Meza-Clay fires off right hands of his own.
Because there's nothing for him to worry about. All you got to do is walk in and punch.
Now they both open up with right hands. Aiken backed up again, and a good combination from Meza-Clay.
The thing about it is Meza-Clay is used to these type fights. These are the type of fights that he fights every time he's out. Eric Aiken is not used to this type of fight. This is not the style of fight he's used to. When he won the title, he was chasing the guy around the ring. The guy got disqualified, but he was chasing this guy, and he got lucky there and won the title shot. But right away, he came back and lost it, which showed you that he hasn't really established himself as a true champion either.
Now, 16-6-1 fighter who had an IBF belt. I mean, you're not going to find guys with that kind of record holding on to IBF belts.
No, and when you know you only had it for one time, I mean, it's kind of obvious that he got a good shot in, but he didn't follow up with it.
Meza-Clay still trying to work his way to the inside. He does so again, places a left hand right on the waistline, goes to the body again. Aiken willing to trade on the inside now. It actually serves him well just to simply let those hands go, regardless of the jab or no jab.
Most definitely, because he's a strong puncher. If he fight, he'd make it a better fight because he's definitely a strong puncher, in or outside. Eric Aiken is. He's letting Meza-Clay fight his own fight, and that's not good. Meza-Clay is at home doing this. This is how he's bred. This is what he loves, contact.
He's getting plenty of it.
Good body shot by Meza-Clay.
Right hand, then the left hand upstairs, and chases him back again with that combination, Roy.
Wow.
Tremendous work from Monty Meza-Clay. Non-stop attack.
National Signing Day. Recruits commit.
There's Adrian Davis, and you can see the resume on the veteran Adrian Davis, the cornerman, working with Eric Aiken, and they really have their work cut out for them right now, Roy.
Most definitely, with his eyes swelling up. He's telling them the same thing that I said, which was you're laying your punches. He's saying about all the punches, but it's mainly the jab that he's laying out there.
Adrian Davis's daughter, Vida, is actually engaged to Eric Aiken, so it's a family affair for the Davis-Aiken team. Round number 5, scheduled for 10. Let's bring in Bert Sugar, Hall of Famer. Good action here in Pittsburgh tonight, Bert, and a very spirited effort from Monty Meza-Clay. Your impressions?
I got to tell you, Joe, and particularly Roy, congratulations on a week ago Saturday. But Roy, I've got an ever-ready bunny here. He's about the right size. What would you do if you were Aiken or in Aiken's corner to keep him out because he's fighting the wrong fight?
You got to pop that jab and keep him on the outside. If you can't pop the jab and keep him on the outside, you're really wasting your time because he's not going to outwork Meza-Clay on the inside. You got to pop the jab and try to discourage him from coming in.
But he's also, he's letting him into his wheelhouse. He's not even clinching with him.
No, he's not. And the referee's probably not going to let him clinch much anyway because this is Meza-Clay's hometown. And like you say, he should try it, but I don't think they would let him get away with it because Meza is working on the inside.
Bert Sugar, our studio guest analyst tonight. Thank you very much, Bert.
Joe, my
as
pleasure.
Meza-Clay continues to target that body. Right hand. And now tries to split the middle.
Oh, good body shot by Meza-Clay. And don't think that Aiken ain't landing some beautiful shots. He's landing good shots when he fights on the inside. He's just not throwing quite enough of them, and he's fighting the wrong fight. He shouldn't be in there fighting that fight. He should be tagging him from the outside, then like Burke said, try to tie him up on the inside. But you see what happens when he tries to tie him up right there? He don't want to get hit to the body, so he quickly lets him go to protect his body again. And that's good work by Meza-Clay by making him have to protect his body and not being able to hold on. And he hit Meza-Clay with about his best right hand just now, and Meza-Clay walked right through it. That's very discouraging when you planned on overpowering a guy, and you hit him with your best punch, and he walks through it like nothing has happened.
This is perhaps the most determined effort we've seen in the career of Monty Meza-Clay. Well, as we near the halfway point here, the scheduled 10-rounder. And what is such an important fight in both guys' career if they want to keep heading in the direction that they plan on heading.
Yep. I got to say, it's also a great effort by Aiken, though, because he's not laying down and giving up here. He's just fighting the wrong fight.
He's fighting, you're absolutely right.
He's not laying down.
He's fighting forth an effort. He's just fighting it on Meza-Clay's terms.
Exactly. He's fighting the wrong fight, but he's definitely putting forth an effort. He's taking good shots. He's giving good shots. He's not giving enough, but he's giving some good ones and taking some good ones.
Good looking main event. Halfway point here on Friday Night Fights from Western PA. Joe Tessitore and Roy Jones Jr. with the early action of Meza-Clay and Eric Aiken. Roy.
You see him throwing the 3-punch combinations to set up the 4 punches, the 1-2 to set up the 3rd punch. He's beautiful with his combinations, Meza-Clay is tonight. He's moving left and right. He's going to the body first and working up to the head. Anytime you go body and then head, you're going to usually open the guy up and land the big shots like Meza-Clay has done tonight.
Monty Meza-Clay opens up this 6th round with a bang against Eric Aiken, the recent world titleist. Meza-Clay has won 6 straight since his lone career loss. That was a TKO loss against Edner Cherry on Friday Night Fights in May 2006. He says he's a much smarter fighter, a more experienced fighter, and as you can see in front of these home fans, a determined and very hungry fighter. Eric Aiken, a bloody mouth. That started early on. Came out of nowhere in a span of 7 weeks in 2006. Lost an 8-rounder to no name, then beat Tim Austin, former champion, but now trails on Roy Jones Jr. scorecard 50-45. Meza-Clay with a series of headshots here.
And Meza-Clay has just been too busy for him, really, for me. I think he's been the busiest fighter all night. Definitely landed most punches. And I think Eric Aiken is not giving us 100% here. He's giving 110% himself, but he's fighting the wrong fight again.
That left hand split the guard. And a series of headshots from Meza-Clay and good head movement to get away and come right back into it. Aiken tries to fire back, but he's eating leather time and time again from Meza-Clay.
He's battling with this Energizer Bunny, but the bunny won't stop. The smart thing Meza-Clay is doing, too, is every now and then he'll back, take his time, then he'll land a very tough, very hard body shot. That's to keep Eric Aiken from gaining any strength.
Punch track numbers, the punches this round in real time. Meza-Clay once again heading towards that 100 punch range. He's had 4 rounds where he's exceeded 100 punches thrown.
Now you see Meza-Clay with a quick, sharp jab. You see that jab? That's the jab that Eric Aiken should be throwing. But Meza-Clay is one throwing a sharp jab. Oh, good body shot by Meza-Clay. That's the body shot I was just telling you about. He lands a few punches, he throws a really hard body shot. That's making Eric keep his hands at home.
Beat goes on for Monty Meza-Clay. As he looks to close out this 6th round, we will have 4 to go on Friday Night Fights from Monroeville.
We torture tested.
It's official. Mets and Santana agreeing a deal that could be worth $150 million. Santana's average salary at $21.5 million, second only to A-Rod. Trade in the NBA as well. Lakers get Pau Gasol from the Grizzlies for Kwame Brown, Javaris Crittenden, and 2 first-round draft picks. Next, SportsCenter 11 Eastern. Now back to Pittsburgh with Joe Tessitore and Roy Jones Jr.
Let's go, back. Monty,
Final moments of instruction before round number 7 for Monty Meza-Clay and his trainer Tommy Yankello. Of course, Tommy Yankello, a fixture here on the local Pittsburgh scene. And Paul Spadafora in his run to the top in recent years. This is a very underrated fight town, Roy Jones Jr. Great fight fans here in Western PA.
Wonderful fight fans here. That's why I came to train too, because they understand the real knowledge of the game. These guys love boxing, they understand boxing. A lot of wonderful boxing people here. I just love the whole atmosphere here.
Great atmosphere here tonight, especially with this attack from Monty Meza-Clay. Oh, he's all over Eric Aiken. It's over. That is it. That is it.
What an assault.
He jumped on him. He never stopped. He finished it. Monty Meza-Clay. Tommy Yankello just came over to us and said he's a real, true fighter now.
And he is. He most definitely is.
Impressive outing for the 26-year-old who has bounced back after his lone career loss, and by far his most impressive outing to date.
Here you see Monty Clay come out right away, attacking with the right hand, the 3-4 punch combinations, got Eric on the ropes, hit him with a couple body shots, realized Eric was getting weak, so he decided to stay on top of him. His corner gave him some beautiful instructions and told him, if you go out and give us 4 hard rounds, he'll quit, you'll end the fight. He came out and gave him 1 hard round and ended the fight just like they said.
Here's another look at how he's able to close the show.
Once you see again, the assault he put on, just kept throwing punches. The guy can't duck and slip all these punches because he's in a place he doesn't want to be. The referee finally seen enough and jumped in and stopped it. It was a beautiful stoppage by the referee. And like I said, you see Eric back flat on his feet against the ropes. Definitely not the place he wants to be when he's the longer range fighter, taking too much punishment, and the referee had to stop it.
What was the one singular mistake that Eric Aiken made tonight? Why did this fight start this way, never get out of the way of it, and finish this way?
Because he never established the jab, he never established an outside presence, he never dominated the fight from where he should have been fighting at the whole night.
Monty Meza-Clay in front of his home fans and his mom, Yolanda. They're very excited. What a great atmosphere here tonight as they are celebrating win number 27.
Couldn't have asked for a better fight. I thought we were going to have a tough time topping that first fight, but Monty Meza-Clay, always busy, definitely topped the first fight.
Let's look at the Just for Men hair color punch track fight recap. And the statistics tonight show that Monty Meza-Clay was 23 of 51 overall in round number 7, the round in which he finished things off, including 20 of 44 headshots. He threw 709 total punches, and that was not even in 7 complete rounds. So let's make it official here outside of Pittsburgh for the hometown kid by sending it up to the ring to Andy Sebastian.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end came at 39 seconds in the 7th round. The winner by way of TKO, Monty Meza-Clay.
Emotions running strong in the ring. Monty Meza-Clay, 27th win of his career. He says he's smarter and he's more powerful than ever before. And I'll tell you, the Just for Men hair color punch track proves that true. The numbers very impressive. 271 out of 709 for Monty Meza-Clay in our fight recap. Body shots were key, 75 out of 207, but the headshots finished things off. 7th round TKO. Yankevo and Meza-Clay embrace. They got the job done tonight over the recent IBF featherweight titleists with an attack in round number 7 that finished things off. We'll be back. Talk about Roy Jones's future when we come back to Friday Night Fights.